Right then guys, so yesterday I put a photo on of the baits being glugged, the KBS, what I'm going to be using out at Water Meadows. So I put a picture on of them, and they dried. Did had 48 hours after the first glug. They had 48 hours. They'd soaked it all in. Within, they did 24-hour dry, and then I added the glug to it once they had 24-hour dry. Within 4 hours, they'd soaked that glug in, sucked it in, and then they've had at least 24-hour dry after that. So then now it's time for the final glugging. So I've just added the amount that's in that bottle. I've probably added half of that amount. It's really concentrated stuff, this, and there's a lot of food value in this. If you buy a bottle of this, you could probably make around about 5 or 6 kilo of boilies out of, probably more, 7 kilo of boilies, if you wanted a bait for winter. One with a little bit of food, but a lot of attraction: fish meal, krill, shrimp and belacan. And it's also got bloodworm in there as well, a little bit of mealworm. So we've given them the second glug, we've given them a good shake. And then same with the round baits. And then now the tubs, I'm not even going to bother now cleaning the tubs. The tubs are going to stay that way. I'm not gonna take the lid off these now for 24 hours. I want them wet. I want them to soak that glug in to the point that it's you see, that glug is very heavy. Now that was the whole reason for the cork dust being in these. It's Polaris pop-up mix anyway, which is very, very buoyant. Buoyant is one on the market. I don't care what anyone says. And anyone that says different, I don't know very many pop-ups as far as I'm concerned. It beats any that's on market without a doubt. It's I would rather use 75% Polaris pop-up mix, 25% maize meal and semolina than use a sticky baits pop-up mix. And I am deadly serious when I say that. I've never used CC More ones, so I can't say nothing about them. Their pop-ups always seem nice. I can't really say anything about them. So now we're down to the we want every single bait coated. So when they're done, and it really does, oh man, it's really salty. This bait is really salty for the simple reason of that the glug is its main content is a fermented shrimp that a friend of mine makes, who works in a Chinese restaurant. So it's a unique glug as far as that's concerned. It's something he does himself, and it contains natural shrimp, but it's fermented. Belacan is a fermented shrimp, but this is natural shrimp in its natural form, but it is made kind of. The preservative in it is rock salt. So rock salt's the preservative in there that is gonna it's gonna keep this glug shelf life forever, as far as I'm concerned. There's that much salt in it. Now I wouldn't advise using this in bait. Sorry guys, in bait in winter. It's too salty. So it's not, salt's not good from this time of year. I'm getting old, me guys. It's too salty this time of year. So, but in spring or just before spawning, most of the light, it will be absolutely devastating. So now all I will do with them now is I will leave the lid off the tubs, which we're at this stage. I will leave that lid off them tubs. And I will, that's the stage with that. Now the blobule you can see on this one, on that one there, that is fermented shrimp. That's the shrimp paste. And it will dry like that. It will dry on it like that. It's kind of sandy. And then the round baits, what we've got here, they're the exact same. It's fermented shrimp and it's krill that's on them. So what I'm going to do with that is, after about 4 or 5 hours of them soaking that up. What? Just a cat talking to me again. She's gone out. Shut up. I'm gonna coat them in their in powdered shrimp, and then once coated in that powdered shrimp, the shrimp will dry to them, and they're gonna be. I'm gonna be fishing these with the barrels are gonna have casters, and I'm a super glue casters to the top of them. A lot of messing about, I know it is, and some of you might think, oh, I won't go to all that messing about, it's too much trouble. But I'm a super glue casters to the top of them. And I'm also going to do with the maggots, the maggots are going to get tied live to the top of these round baits. So when the pop-up sat up on the hinge rig, it's going to have maggots on top of it, because there's going to be maggots in this soup. I've got a funny feeling the weather's going to change, and they're, I think they're going to be key to nailing a few. So that's where we're at with them. So now all it's a matter of doing now is it's just a matter now of just really bunging lids on them for an hour or so. Really just till my mum goes home, because if not, she actually be sick. I ain't joking either, guys, honestly. It actually makes her sick. It does makes me rave. It's just krill. It just smells of krill and shrimp. I don't know what's wrong with them. They love prawns. They both eat prawns. It smells of prawns. Prawns smell like shrimp. Smells like prawn to me. No difference. To the point of, and I've also the other thing as well. To the point of it's I'm going. See, Dynamite Base used to do a bait years ago, and I once won. I think it was 10 kilo of it. It must be going on now 10, 15 years ago, and it was called shrimp and prawn and shrimp. They did it years ago, and I'd never used a fish meal bait. I've said it before on many of my blogs. Fish meal baits are something I just do not use much of, but I've seen how devastating krill can be. And by the way, guys, these are not going to be the same price as the other baits, and you buy them or you don't. I don't give two hoots whether you buy them or not. I know for definite I'm using them. I know how deadly they are. I know how deadly this bait is. I've used it 3 times, and on every single occasion I've used it, I've hit into multiple catches of fish. 3 from water meadows, 4. I had 4 from Treaton, including a sturgeon, and then I had the last time on Langworth I fished over tuna and pelican, and I had, I think it was 8 fish, and there was hardly any fish out on pond. This bait is deadly as far as I'm concerned, but it ain't really for general sale yet. It's not been tested enough, and I ain't got the money to be giving it people to be testing it and all that. I'll test it myself as far as I'm concerned. If it continues catching, and it continues catching right through to next spring, I mean, you can see the goodness in that. That's krill, that's bloodworm, that's mealworm. There's all sorts in there, absolutely all sorts, honestly. But like I said, the salt content's really high, and carp love salt. No matter what time of year it is, carp search salt out for the simple reason of they find it very hard to find in their in fresh water. Like I said before, and other threads again. There is insects out there that contain natural salts. Carp themselves are made up of a saline, which is if you cut one in half and tasted the inside of it, it would taste salty. It's as simple as that. They're made up of salts themselves. They crave salts. So, and I've used salt in winter in small amounts, and I've always done well on it. But these are really, really salty, to the point of really salty. But it's all through that shrimp paste that's been made pretty much shelf life, so it lasts for a long time. So they can use it in restaurants, really. So they can use it in restaurants, and they use it as a dip. Now this is how you get it. When you get it, you get it in a block. It's in a block. It's this is a glug I've made myself. It's the glug's made myself. You can see it bottom there, look. This glug's made myself. It was specifically designed this not for anything other than glugging these baits, these specific baits. No other bait, just these. I wanted it so it still contained all the goodness of what's in the KBS, which is a very, very heavy bait. It's really, really heavy. So to the point that if you've got a kilo of it, it doesn't look like a kilo. It's the content that's in it, the fish meal. It's got everything in it. It's just an heavy bait. It's really, really heavy. But that's what gives that's what makes it super special when it comes to spotting it out in soups. It's heavy, it sinks like a brick, and it's when them carp come in and them pegs start going, it doesn't go great distances. It may move a little bit, but it doesn't do what normal bait does, and that is flip all over and end up all over. It doesn't move very far. I've done it with my hand. I've moved my hand. I've gone with my hand over it, and it does move a little bit, but nowhere near as much as what the pineapple and butyric acid one did when I did that. And it moved out. That just went all over the place, replicating a fish coming into the swim. It's because of the heavy content of what's in it, the fish meal, the seaweed extract. It's the bloodworm in that. It's just everything. All these the belacan in two forms as well. It's now in the actual feed base. It's in two form. It's in a powdered form, and it's also in the biomass form from CC Moore. So it makes it heavier. So it's I've had to make the glug that little bit lighter and thin it out. Now the way I thinned it out is I thinned it out in a very special way, and the way that I've done it, it makes it a lot thinner, but it makes it lovely to soak into baits. And once it's soaked into these baits, then the lid will be left off them and they will be air dried. Now the tubs will not be cleaned for the simple reason of I like all this to get sticky and thick over time. Like it goes more oily over time as the moisture content leaves the glug. Over time it will become sticky, and the baits will eventually become lighter, but there will always be pop-ups for the simple reason of the amount of cork in them. It's the whole reason I cork dust. I love Polaris pop-up mix. Polaris pop-up mix would normally be the one just with that on its own. If I were doing short sessions, say I were only having bait out there for 4 hours, then bringing it in, putting a new pop-up on. But with this is, if I find a clear spot and there's only set one or two pegs left on clear water, and I get in a peg and I can only find 2 clear spots that I can get 3 rods on, I want to know that once that bait's out there and it's sat, it's going to sit there pretty much for a duration until it goes. I don't want it backward and forward, not in this weather. It just ain't good at all. Now the other thing, I don't know if I've mentioned this on this because I had to stop it early because someone was talking in background, is to do with stickers. And the way I'm going to go next year, I'm going to go with it big time this next year, because I've seen just what I can do with it, you know what I mean, and I know it's wanted, but I am going to have to get some stickers made for the pop-ups, and it's going to be the logo that's on my page, the pencil drawing of the hinge rig and the pencil drawing of the helicopter rig with the bottom bait on. The pencil drawing one, I don't know if you've seen it, but it's on Format's page. I love it, with the Format's logo at top. Now that's going to be a sticker on these, and it's going to be an oval shaped sticker, and it's going to be on there. And the only thing that it's going to say in the corner is it's going to say KBS or Roxy. And I'm not sure which one yet. I'm not sure about Roxy, because if you're not from Sheffield, you're not going to understand it. But KBS, you're gonna understand. KBS eventually means krill, belacan, and shrimp. So I'm probably gonna go with KBS. Now, the other thing as well is boilie bags. One of the lads, Baz, is a good lad. I've been looking for bags for ages, and within 20 minutes, it turns up with the exact bag I want. You know what I mean? It's unbelievable, honestly. I've been looking for ages for a bag I want, and within 20 minutes, it turns up with a post on my page and says, "Make these bags what you want." Yeah, they were, Baz. Thanks very much, mate. It's they've got the black. They've got a nice little viewing window on them, and they're the ones with a little notch in top. But I've got what you snap and it eat wraps them. and then you've got the clipper that you unclip, and then it zip bags together. So they're the bags. But the other thing with that is I'm going to have the same sticker that's on the pop-ups will only be a small sticker on those bags. Now they're kilo bags, they're all going to be doing kilo bags. So if you buy 5 kilo, it's going to be 5 of them bags. Which, if I were buying it personally, I would prefer it that way, because sometimes you only want to be taking a kilo, aren't we? I will eventually get up to 5 kilo bags though, because the minimum bait I will be doing in winter is 5 kilo. I'm not messing about with kilos anymore. It's a waste of my time. I can't be bothered with doing fucking kilo for people. It's pointless anyway. If you're only feeding a kilo, at the price I'm doing it at, honest to God's truth, good in garden and dig maggots up, dig worms up and use worms. For the price I'm doing it for, you're mad. You must be crazy, man. I wish someone were doing it me at this price. I wouldn't be rolling it. So just let me know what you actually think about the sticker thing. Would you rather have the pop-up tubs with a format base sticker on it with that pencil drawing that I've had done, which is absolutely unique, and boom, I love it. And then, or would you rather, and it's same with these are all going to have it on as well, the format stickers, all the glugs. I've got a lovely glug at the minute as well. Going off subject to KBS here a minute, but I've got another glug at the minute that's I'm loving. It's white. Its base is coconut milk, but I've done it so it's preserved now, so it will last forever. But I can pretty much, and it's a pineapple and butyric acid glug for the pineapple and pineapple and butyric acid amino. Now the main ingredients in it is coconut milk, amino, and butyric acid, and a little bit of pineapple, very little bit of pineapple. So when you get it, don't be thinking, I can't smell pineapple in that. It smells funny. That it's amino that's in it. I've also just ordered a shitload of liver. When I say liver, I mean liver as in base mix liver, as in for base mixers that I can put in with eggs. It's in its natural form, but it's been preserved. So but not with salt. So that's a bit that's coming in winter, because I've always done really well with liver in winter, and liver's well known. If you want to learn about liver in winter, just watch stuff to do with Mark Holmes. Actually, it's pointless me ranting on about it, because just watch Mark Holmes, he'll tell you all about liver. To the point of, I ain't joking to you, I once watched stuff to do with Mark Holmes, and I bought some liver, and I spotted liver out. I put it in a blender, and I added it to water with a little bit of, it was sausage rusk. It was when I was working for a company called Underwood Meats, and we were delivering meats. They did in the factory, they had something called sausage rusk. It's what they put in with sausages. And I used to get about 5 kilo bags of it at a time. In the end, we started knocking down on it, because they started searching his lockers and all sorts. Everybody was taking it. But we were mixing it in with liver, and it looked bloody. It looked like we were chewing for sharks, to be honest with you. But we were putting it out. But we weren't putting it out with back then. They weren't such a thing as spods, and I've done it later with a spod, but back then we didn't have spods. We had all we're doing was I had it was like a trowel, and I'd taped it to the end of a long pole, and I was putting it in. I was chucking ground bait out with it in over the top of his rigs, and then when I chucked it in the edge and it looked absolutely mint. Little bits of liver, blood, and it just looked mint, honestly. And I think that day between us, we had about 36 fish for the first time I ever used it ever. And we had two fish out there, 2 carp out of somewhere that I never thought I would have caught a carp from, but we caught 2 out of it over liver, and that was out of damn flask. They were only little, about 13, 14 pounds, but we had 2. And it was late on as well, late on, it was probably around about December, end of November, December time. So we had 2 out of there. But like I said, they were only small. But So let me know what you think about that, because it'll be interesting to hear from you. And none of you never answer anything I put on. Answer the questions, because you're buying the bait from me. So the least you can do is answer me. Would you rather have stickers on it and pay £1 more, and it being a nice bag and pay £1 more? Or would you rather it just being a plain tub like that and say KBS on the top like that, and it'd be £1 cheaper? Because it's quite simple to me. What I could do is, I'm going for it on eBay big time, and when I go for it on eBay, and I'm having a website done, and when I go for it on them, then obviously I'm going to need the proper labels and the proper stickers. It's got to look professional. I've just ordered a full, like a mini studio thing for it's really for food, but I've already got one, but I've ordered the lights and everything. And that it's the only reason I've ordered all that stuff is for this. It's for these boilers. I'm going to do proper shoots of them. I'm going to do them all nicely shot indoors, and then I'm going to do some nice outdoor stuff in autumn leaves and stuff like that for that website. But the website's getting done. But next year I see big things for format. I really do. It's just surprised me so much this year, guy, and I want to say thank you really to everyone that's bought bait off me this year. It's still elite, yeah, but we're still cracking along as far as we go with bait wise, but it's slowed up. It's definitely slowed up. But I just want to say thank you really to everyone that's bought bait off me, and for those that have bought bait off me and they've caught on it. Crack on, keep on coming, keep them coming, and there's a few in here out there like Richard Barnett. He's doing really well on Bloody Pineapple. Nah, he bought a kill off me months and months ago. Now it must got to be 5 months ago, and he was still using it up to over a week at Westwood, and I think he had 2 or 3 fish on it. Nah, Rich, just give me a bell, and if you want a Bloody Pineapple doing, I will roll it for you, buddy, honestly. It's not a problem at all, and I will do it, yeah, at the price I did it before, because you was all you now that are buying bait off me now are the original customers I have, and no matter what happened to me, I'm not going to be like the rest of the people out there that just the next year everything went boom, and it really got big to the point that I had to get some kind of warehouse or something. I can't see that happening, to be honest with you. To be honest with you, I don't know if I'd want it to. But if it did, you're the last people I would forget about. And I said this to Paul the other day. Paul will always get his bait off me at the same price. Always. Always. All in you will that I bought it off me now. But anyone new coming along, it's going to cost you a little bit dearer, for the simple reason of a lot's changed to do with bait mixers, to do with base mixers and other things. But the few in you that are watching me on YouTube that are fishing treating, I've had one guy on there that says he's fishing treating and he'd like to do a session with me. I will get round to doing that session with Geezer, honestly, I really will. But the thing is, I'm trying to nip down at weekend. I'm trying to nip down and see you, and I'll have a chat with you. I may even bring a couple of rods and fling a couple out while I'm having a chat with you, because it's it may be worth doing this time of year, and it's just a lovely place at the minute. Anyway, so I want to get some photos done down there at different colouring trees, autumn, and some long exposure stuff of things. So it may be either early or more than likely later on when I get down there, because I want some long exposure stuff. I'm hoping for clear skies, to be honest with you, because get some nice skies over there, so I might get some nice photography done. So yeah, please let me know what you're thinking about the sticker things, because it's you guys that I need to know this off. It's because as far as I'm concerned, I don't give 2 hoops about what it comes in, as long as it catches fish. But I know a lot of you out there are really taught it about things looking nice. So I know, especially the whole point of it is I'm not aiming at you lot. It's for eBay. It's for eBay and the website. When stuff goes out, I want it to be in a proper bag that has been heat sealed, and the bait is as fresh as I want it to be when it goes out there. So it's very best. And then when someone rips that bag open, undoes it, and that smells nice. And then they catch fish on it. You know what I mean? That's the reason I want to do it. I want it to look nice, and it's all about the eye. If something looks good on the eye, people are gonna it's gonna attract their attention more. It's just a sales thing. It's ridiculous, really. I could go in a tackle shop, see them, and straight away I'd look at that tub and think, yeah, that looks as though it's going to be nice. Just through looking at that, I'd think that looks as though it's going to be nice. When I undid it and smelled it, I'd already be at the counter buying them. And I'm serious, honestly. They smell that good. Right, so that's enough of that rambling on. I went on for a fair bit, but I just really did. I've been thinking about it last night, and I was thinking it was funny, because I think about I love a lot of things. A few of my recipes have come up while I've been asleep, believe it or not. They've actually come up while I have been asleep. So how much I think about bait and how much I'm thinking about fishing. More bait, but a few of my recipes have come up while I've been asleep. That's honest truth. And they've worked. They've worked. But I'm hoping to get back to Langworth, and I'm hoping when I get back to Langworth, I'm going to be able to finally put to sleep one of these bigger fish. It's one of these bigger fish that I've been after a while. Do you know these pop-ups, guys? I think they're actually soaking that glug in already. We'll have a quick look while we're on here now. Yeah, I'm still chasing one of the bigger fish from there. I know this bigger. Yeah, they have. Yeah, this looks it in already. Beautiful. Just shows you that. Oh, they smell really. They smell just like. Don't tell me that they don't look sexy. They look sexy as fuck for a bait, mate. And so people think I'm mad when I say that. So especially I like sexy. How can that look sexy? It does. It looks sexy. It's so it's already sucking it in there. You know what I mean? And it's there's an art to actually glugging. It's not just a matter of pouring the glug on and leaving the glug. There is an actual art to glugging. It's a process. It takes more than 1 day to glug a bait. You can't just put glug on it, stick it in your bag, leave it, and then 6 months time go to it and pull it out, and it'll be perfect. There's a possibility it could end up with mould. There's all kinds of possibilities, but that's also doing the exact same. Now them at the minute, the lid's getting put on them, and then just before we go to bed tonight, I will take the lid off. And that's the final time the lid will be took off them, and then the next day the lid will be put on, and they will be sealed up, and they will be put in my tackle box, and they're ready for water meadows as far as I'm concerned. And the other thing as well, what I wanted to mention is, I've been joking with Richard because he was going on about maggots so much, and I asked him if he gives a few maggots, and he never answered me. So I says, it's all right, Rich. It's I know I'd get some off him. He's a good bloke, Richard. He'd give me some. So it's all right, Rich. I says, I'll get me send some maggots, which I'm going to do anyway. You know what I mean? I'm going to do that from the off. Maggots are always going to be playing a part in my fishing at this time of year. Not really. I didn't really have them in mind as an upbait, but they're definitely 100% without a doubt. More so with them. They're getting tipped off with about 4 maggots. 4 red maggots. Red for the simple reason of there's a lot of bloodworm in them. So they're getting tipped off with red maggots. The rounder baits, they will also be getting tipped off with maggots. With the cork dust in there, it's given me that option of being able to do stuff like that with it. And it's all about having that extra buoyancy. It's all been about being able to fish. In winter, I fish a small stick, a small PVA stick, and that stick will bear, it won't be this glug, because this glug's, it's got water based. So, but I have got another glug that's PVA friendly, and it will be still it will be the KBS glug. I've got a pile of it in there what I'm taking with us down to water meadow, so I'm going to put a lot in soup I'm making, and also give Richard a bit for back of his boat. But the whole point of that is that glug is so that I can just get a PVA stick with the bait on and drop it into the PVA glug, pull it out, roll it into either some dusted ground bait or some powdered krill, or even better than that is something I'm loving at the minute, mealworm, crushed down into a dust, kept in a tub, and then just roll the bait into it, and then flick it out. And when it hits the bottom, what you'll find is the mealworm will break off, and it will slowly raise. They will slowly raise up off it. Now it's actually a tray because the mealworm will be coated in the KBS glug, which is heavy. It will keep a lot of that mealworm down there. But honestly, guys, I ain't joking to you. Mealworm has played a massive part in the success of what I've had this year, and this year's been a really good year for me fishing wise. I've done really well. You know what I mean? I've had this year. I've had a two fish just under £30, and I've had multiple 20s this year. I've done really well for the north of England, for off circuit. I've done really well, but there's still a lot to come yet. We've got till December to go, so we'll see how we go with that. But I hope you enjoyed that, and I just want to say thanks for everyone that's been buying bait off me so far. If you ain't been buying bait, I want to know why.